Hello Year 9s, welcome to Mr. Chen Classrooms. How are you? So today in math we will continue with trigonometry. So from last videos I actually introduced you guys on the real life application of trigonometry and also some important keywords. So today in these videos I will actually explain what is each of the keywords mean, and we're gonna do some question on it as well. So let's start. So keywords number one is reference angle. Okay, so if you can remember from a couple of videos ago, we actually talked about reference angle. So we got a right angle triangle here, which it has a 90-degree, and reference angle is actually an angle that we are referring to, okay, as reference angle. And reference angle actually has quite a few acronym that you can use for it. So the first one can be used, which is theta. Okay, so first one is called a theta. You will see this one a lot. So it pretty much just an acronym for like a x degree. So if you don't know what it is, you can put put a theta here. So you pretty much mean you have to find that angle. Okay, so the second one, instead of using theta, sometimes we use alpha. Okay, so they're basically pretty much the same thing, just different acronym for it. The third one we call it beta, and the last one we call it phi, phi. Okay, so you all of these four can be replaceable with each other. So second one is keywords is degrees. So let's say if I ask you to find theta and you actually end up finding them, and let's make up a number. Let's say it is 35 degree. So that degree is pretty much the actual angle of your reference angle, which is 35 degrees. Alright, so next we have hypotenuse. As you know, hypotenuse is the longest length in a right angle triangle. So in this case it will be that one. That will be your hypotenuse. Alright, hypotenuse, which the C, remember the C, which is the formula C squared equal to A squared plus B squared. Alright, so since we know that is the hypotenuse, I'm gonna now introduce you the two names for the shoulder length. Remember, the shoulder length are actually that one and that one. They are the shoulder length. They actually have a name for it as well. So for the right angle triangle, the shoulder length, it depends on where the reference angle is. That's the first thing you need to look at. So if the reference angle is right here, okay, as you can see, if the reference angle is right here, the opposite shoulder length is literally just called the opposite. Okay, and represent as 0. And the shoulder length that is just right next to the reference angle, it is called the adjacent. Please make sure you remember this, because it will become very useful when you try to look for the trigonometric ratio, that is tangent, cosine, and sine, which I will explain later down the track. So let's make another right angle triangle. This time I'm gonna make it a bit better. So let's pretend right angle triangle is on here this time. Okay, and that's the 90-degree. So let's say the reference angle is here right now. Okay, the theta is right here, which is our reference angle, and from there we can find hypotenuse, which is that. Let's see. Okay, or h if you like it. And the opposite of it is the opposite. And that is the opposite. That is called the opposite. And the length right next to the theta, which is the reference angle, is called the adjacent. Okay, which is represented by A, and that's represented by O. Okay, so that is how you can tell hypotenuse, opposite side, and adjacent in a right angle triangle. So next, we're gonna talk about trigonometric ratio. So trigonometric ratio, I'm gonna briefly go through it because I want to make this video a bit short. Okay, so let's and then I will further explain it in our next video. So with trigonometric ratio, it is more complex questions, keywords to learn. So in trigonometric ratio, there are actually 3 different types, which are your tangent, cosine, and sine. Okay, I'm gonna write it here. So tangent, which can be replaced with tan theta, and you have a cosine, which can be replaced with cosine cos theta, and the last one is a sine, okay, which can be replaced with sine theta. So basically all these three, okay, all these three is to find out the ratio between the 3 lengths in right angle triangle. Okay, so we have a right angle triangle, and it is pretty much you are comparing that one, and that one. Most of the time you are comparing 2 of them only. So either your hypotenuse or you are comparing the adjacent, or you are comparing between opposite or adjacent together. So each of these 3 trigonometric ratio has fixed formulas. So for tangents, it is equal to opposite over adjacent. For cosine, it is adjacent over hypotenuse. And the last one is sine, what is sine theta? It is opposite over hypotenuse. Okay, so literally for tangent, you are comparing you are trying to find the ratio between the opposite and adjacent, okay, by dividing the two lengths. That's it. And for cosine, you're actually comparing the length, how much does it different from hypotenuse, okay, which is adjacent divided by hypotenuse. And for sine, you're comparing between opposite and hypotenuse. So I'm gonna make a quick example. Let's say the hypotenuse here is 5 centimeters. Adjacent is 4 centimeters and opposite is 3 centimeters. So if let's say we are doing tangent, as we know, tangent theta is equal to opposite over adjacent based on that one. So that means you are dividing the length of opposite by the length of adjacent, which is 3 centimeters divided by 4 centimeters. So if you divide it, the answer would be 0.75. Okay, so that means the tangent theta, the ratio, trigonometric ratio of tangent theta will be 0.75. Okay, so if you do it for the rest of them, you will find a different value for both cosine and sine compared to tangents. It is very useful in the case that we can actually find out what this reference angle is. Okay, what this reference angle is if one or two of the lengths are actually given. For example, if 4 and 5 are given but 3 are not given, okay, so 3 and 4 and 5, which is hypotenuse and adjacent, we're gonna go here and find it. So adjacent, hypotenuse, so we can use this cosine to find out what actually is the angle for the reference angle. Okay, we cannot use opposite, okay, because if this is not given, we cannot use that one, and obviously we can't use that one because that involve, both of those involve the length for opposite. So I'm gonna stop here. I just want you to actually take your time to go through this, and you might have to write all these three formulas down because this is the first time you actually seen them. Okay, so for these trigonometry videos, we went through the keywords and we went through what hypotenuse, opposite and adjacent are. We also talk about the trigonometric ratio, which are tangent, cosine and sine, which include the short acronym for them. And we also went through why these three trigonometric ratio are actually here, what's the purpose. So thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. Peace out. Bye.